And who would like to go first? Who would like to introduce themselves and describe what they look like as you sit at the same table, miraculously?
I can go first. What you actually see is a platinum-haired elf standing about 5'5", probably considered attractive, were she not so muscular. She looks like she weighs anywhere between 115 and 135 pounds. Long platinum colored hair, very sky blue eyes. She's wearing what looks like studded leather with a long coat pulled over with what looks like some pauldrons. The same color of the hair sitting on her shoulders, and she's just spinning a dagger at the end of her finger, just continually spinning and eyeing the rest of the party. And she looks over towards Lydia and says, "Interesting. What brings you here?"
Sorry about the token. I forgot to switch it out.
"Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude. My name is Hallie," and gives Lydia a nod.
So what you see is a girl about 3.5 feet tall. You would probably call that a size of a large gnome. She's wearing a very plain, white dress, sleeveless, and a black top hat. Her face, where her mouth would be, isn't quite a normal mouth. It's more like a gas mask looking apparatus. Her eyes isn't her eyes is more like where her eyes would be is kind of like a visor instead, and then you see points of light from on that visor. You notice as she speaks, the points of light kind of turn into shapes and symbols, so you can tell if any emotion is coming out through that way. For instance, if she's smiling, you see carrots. If she has her eyes closed, you'll see slits. She curtsies and she says, "Greetings. My name is Livia. You may call me Liv for short."
Well met, Liv. What about you, big one over there?
You guys see as a bit of a as the camera pans way up from Livia, you see the well repaired but wasn't worried about being pretty, definitely battle scarred damaged body of a Warforged, fairly standard house Cannith make, definitely a frontline model. You see him with the hulking shield and a battle axe, not eating, just hanging out, looking for work. And he just silently looks over and doesn't say anything. Yes, this character can talk. He's just not talking yet.
Ellie looks over to Liv. Not one for words, I guess. What about you? As Ellie looks to her left and sees Dragonborn, or this creature whose skin is probably the same color as her eyes. His skin is really fascinating, almost beautiful.
You see, when you said big guy, Eisendrach thought you were talking to him, since he's like 6'5". So you see a large blue dragonborn with a bony ridge down the center of the top of his skull and two large curly horns. He thinks he's been talking to you this whole time because he sometimes forgets to speak out loud. He thinks he's telepathic.
Nice.
In his head, he hears telepathically, "No, really, your skin is really nice. Great color."
He jumps when he hears the voice in his head.
"I don't want you going to eat that food in front of you." As Hallie reaches for a knife and plucks something off his plate.
Yeah, he pulls the plate towards himself.
It's okay. Take yours. I hear these people can't eat. Anyways, what brings you all the way out here? Fame, fortune? Combination of both?
A light coin purse.
Indeed.
Pardon me. Don't mean to interrupt, but you all look like the people I'm meant to see.
And you might be? Well, please.
Moves up and sits down. He's definitely someone who comes from money. He's wearing armor, but it's very, very nice. He's got a pale complexion, very nicely done hair, and he sits down. He's got a cape that he makes sure doesn't sit on. Then he puts down like a scroll in front of him as he sits down, looks at the food, and then just kind of pushes it away from himself. "Well, I'm a bit of a middleman, Edward Partsmith. Pleasure to meet all of you. I already know Hallie, Livia, Ward, you, big fellow. I don't really work for the captain. I'm more of a a third party. We've done our research, though, as is my job. And aside from one other, which he's actually already with the captain, his skill set allows him to help provide intel ahead of a job. But the rest of you are on board if you're interested. I have information on the job itself, and then I can take you to meet the captain if you're interested.
I think, well, at least for myself, that's something I'm interested in. More coin in Elia's feverishly trying to eyeball his coin purse.
All right. Well, before we get started, I can give you some more information on the captain and her ship if you're interested. I know she's infamous, but most of the information out there is hearsay, it's rumor. So I can give you some more information about herself before we get into the job. You'd like to know about your...
I love stories from handsome men.
Quite. All right. So the Red Ringer, nicknamed by the king of Galifar because of how quickly Captain Garo would wring out money from any ship she found, is a quick airship that has seen decades of service. It is in good repair, and while it doesn't boast cannons for defense, the quickness of the ship and the magic of the captain herself and the first mate more than make up for the lack of cannons. You may not know this, but Captain Garo is a middle-aged woman at this point. You should also know that she made her money as a privateer during the last quarter of the 100-Year War. She kept the skies safe, both from warships and pirates, and her contract allowed her to keep or sell whatever booty she acquired. After the war, most of her companions retired, I'm sure you've heard that, and she has kept her crew lean, relying on her first mate, whose name is Garrick Buckler, if you're interested, for social support and combat. I think they're together, it's hard to tell. But she's looking for muscle, hence why we're all sitting here today. On to the job. All right. I should warn you that this job comes through an intermediary. I'm usually the person who knows everyone involved, like Captain Garo. But when I brought this job to her, I made it clear to her that I don't know who the employer is. This job comes with many middlemen, not just myself. So it feels like a great house job. And if that doesn't give you all pause, I would like to make it clear to you that wherever the great houses are involved, you should be wary. They are lucrative in the work that they provide, but I would just caution you all to be careful on whatever this job ends up being. The great houses may not rule countries here in Eberron, but their wills and machinations have moved the hands of fate to affect thousands of lives, all with the brush of a quill. Your contact, myself, of course. I work on behalf of houses, both large and small, so it could come from any of them. The work is a rescue of a kidnapped house agent. Usually when this happens, because it's not the first time, it is done by a rival house. Unfortunately, I don't even know who the houses are, but scouts have located the tavern where the agent is supposedly being kept. So your job is to make your way there, find out where inside the tavern the agent is being kept, find out the state that they're in, and use the provided funds. And he pulls out a pouch, just after you all have been talking about pouches of gold, that clinks loudly as he drops it onto the table in between all of you. Use these provided funds to retrieve the agent. Really, how you do it is up to you, but they must be acquired and returned by any means necessary. You can use the gold, or you can keep the gold and use other means. But you must travel to the newly created Skyport town of Pillar and stay at the Drafty Villa, a tavern and inn at the center of a once wartime fort that is now a trade hub. Payment will be given upon the return of the agent, and you will be judged, both by the houses and Captain Garo, on the state of the agent and how much of a mess was made in the retrieval. Bonuses will be given out should you be judged fairly. Do you have any questions?
Do we get to meet the captain before? I've heard a lot about this person and I would love to see them and greet them.
Yes, of course. Yes, you will.
Does anybody object? I'm kind of lighting the purse strings, and this could go a long way to helping us, find some food and lodging, as it were.
I do not object. You notice when she speaks, it's kind of staticky. Sounds kind of like a CB radio.
Yeah, a job is a job.
And you, Blue? What about... I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Hallie. Mind if I call you Blue? Or something else? And she looks towards the dragonfly.
Fine. If I get annoyed, you'll know.
Thanks, Blue.
Under his voice, he's like, yeah, that's original.
You're my boy, Blue. Okay. What did you say your name was again? Fine, handsome gentleman sitting next to me.
Eisendrach? Oh, which handsome gentleman?
Well, Ned Eisendrach. And you, human?
Edward Parts. If you're trying, if given the world that this is in, right? It's Eberron. Houses are involved in pretty much everything. If anyone wants to give me like a history check or a maybe, what else would even apply here? Yeah, just really history is really the only thing that would come up here. If you're like trying to place the name.
Sure, I'll do it.
Nope,
Yeah.
Olivia wants.
You remember that within the houses, if a family, like a line of people, worked for a house long enough and became house agents, and that just kind of became the family business, was working within the company. Eventually, they would change their last name to be involved in whatever part of the house business they were in. So either Edward works for one of the houses because of his last name, and you could it could be any of them that are involved in mechanical engineering, which is a few of them, or his family did at some point during whatever, and that's just what his name is now. So even though he says he's a middleman, he may have some connection to one of the houses. Please go ahead, Adam.
Inquiry. What are the next steps from here?
If you're all amenable, I am to take you to the captain. She has recently landed nearby, not here at the city, but nearby, and then you can disembark with her, and she will take you to Pillar.
Hallie's already pushing out her seat, ready to go.
All right, let's go.
Olivia was actually standing the entire time.
Yep. That's what I figured. If you move your token, there's like a bar stool there, but there's no like chair at that table, because I figured your character would just be like chilling. All right, so all of you get up and you make your way south out of the city. All right, so I'm gonna share this handout with you guys. This is basically all the information we just went over. That way you can review it later if needed. So in the journals, you'll be able to see Red Ringer now, and then there's Red Ringer and the job/interview. So that's the discussion you guys just had. There's also a map of the continent in your journal that you'd be able to pull out and take a look at.
And where were we at?
You were in a cove, kind of on the border of the Mournland and Thrain. You see how the water comes from the north there, and then comes all the way down, and then right next to the Mournland, there's like a little inlet lake there. It's at the very southeast point there. So it's a pretty weird place for a pirate ship city, but I think that's the point. It's where no one would think to look for it.
To the northeast of the Mournland.
No. The in between the name Thrain and the name Mournland, there's that big body of water right there.
The southwest. Got it.
Yep, my bad. Did I say southeast?
I don't know. I just presume I just presumed that you said southeast.
Oh,
I don't know if you did or not.
My bad. All right. So you are kind of walked out of the city. There's only one bridge that exits the shipwreck city onto land. You all travel for a while as in the dark. Edward casts dancing lights. There's one that's circling above your heads, and then one out in front of you, kind of leading the way so that you can see where you're going. And eventually you come to a clearing, and there's an airship just sitting about 10 feet off of the ground. And as you get there, it's almost like a little bit like a helicopter, the way the air is kind of pushed away from it as the blades are going, but there's no blades on this ship. It is just hovering there, and there's an anchor that is sitting in the dirt of the clearing. And as you approach, one of the dancing lights waves like a little symbol in the air, a pattern, which seems to be a way of indicating who you are as a group and that he's leading you. And then a drawbridge is let down from the top, and it's a weird combination of climbing and walking because of the angle is so steep. After you come up onto the ship, Edward waves goodbye and walks back to the shipwreck city because he's not a part of the crew. He's a middleman. And you are now on the Red Ringer. You see at the helm is a older gentleman who seems to be just manning it, waiting for everyone to get situated before you take off. And as soon as you all seem settled, you start to lift up into the air and make your way west. You're able to move your tokens as needed. You can actually go to different parts of the ship. If you approach stairs and ladders, you'll be taken to other parts of the ship. Feel free to explore. If you want to go into the cabin to see the captain, that's right where you're going, Haley. You can see behind Garrick, there's a double door into the captain's quarters, but he says, welcome aboard, lass. I imagine you'll want to speak to the captain. She's through the doors there behind me. I'll get us the pillar soon.
Thank you, my good man. Where's the extra ammo for the ballistas? And where are the weaponry? I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a lisp, and she kind of leans into them. He smells like night blooming jasmine and some kind of perfume that she has on, and looks around and
Each of the ballistas have a repeating enchantment on them, so you don't need to load them. They just fire.
wow, fancy. Well met. I'm Hallie. See you soon.
So as you make your way into the captain's quarters, you see that there's a hill dwarf sitting on a chair, and they're kind of having a discussion with the captain who's sitting at her desk. She turns, and you see that she's wearing scale mail that seems to be extremely expensive, but built into the metal scales, you can see they're like glowing lights, which is almost reminiscent of Liv's technology that you've seen kind of moving along the metal skin. And Ward, you would also notice this too. There seems to be a fair amount of magical technology integrated into the captain's clothing. And if anyone would take a guess, it's probably because the captain is an artificer, which explains why all of the ballistas have a repeating enchantment on them, because the captain has done some expensive and extensive work retrofitting the ship, so that way, even though it's not a giant ship with the cannons or anything, it can still defend itself. And she turns and says, "Oh, wow, welcome aboard. I've just been going over some of the details of the job with Eltar here. He's also will be joining us, but he's been spending most of the day in meditation, using his skills to hopefully give us an upper hand. Welcome aboard. Is there anything that I can help you with?"
Inquiry. What is the contraption that allows this vehicle to levitate?
It is a combination of magically infused wood, and there is emitters on the end of some of the wood that the mast, which is why you don't see any sails except for helping us turn, that help keep us buoyant without the need of water.
Fantastic. As you see, Levy starts looking at the wood.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to give me an Arcana check, if you want more information, but you would all know that airships have been a thing for quite some time, and the way they work is a combination of magically infused wood that is magically infused before it's ever used to even build the ship, and then once it's all put together, then it becomes part machine, part ship. At that point, even mundane people can pilot airships without needing to be a mage or an artificer or whatever. But if you want more information, please go ahead and roll an Arcana.
Just a 12.
Just a 12. So looking around, Liv, you know that this ship is like someone took a Honda Civic and spent a lot of money to turn it into a race car.
Brilliant. As she continues to inspect the wood.
And given with what you know about the captain and her history, it probably was not this nice when she was working during the war. But because of the wealth that she gained, she's put a lot of money into the ship.
Inquiry. And the power source?
Dragon stones.
Dragon stones.
Dragon stones or dragon shards?
I guess it depends on how big they are. But yeah, shards are... I like to call them stones if they're above a certain size, but shards, usually. You can fly further and faster with bigger stones. Is there anything else I can help you with? Because Eltar and I are still kind of going over details. You're free to move about the ship. Your quarters are below deck. You want to rest before we get to where we're going? Each of you has a hammock. Oh, yes.
Inquiry. Is there anybody else coming?
No, it's all of you. I like to run a tight ship.
I see what you did there. Do we have our own bunks, or will be splitting up and sharing with others, like two to a room? How does it work?
Right now, one of you is going to have to bunk up with the other one because we only have 4 quarters at the moment. But there are multiple hammocks in 2 of the rooms.
Liv, would you mind bunking with?
Sure. You see, as she says that, she's kind of looking around. Why not?
Does she seem preoccupied with the artificery in the room?
No, not necessarily.
Is there someone she prefers to bunk with besides Hallie?
It's more like she's looking for someone.
So upstairs on the highest point of the ship, our dragonborn friend. Can you say your name for me one more time?
Eisendruck.
Eisendrock is enjoying, I imagine, the feel of wind along his horns and his face as the ship is going very fast. It accelerated at a speed that it was not really noticeable, but you guys are just flying now at a pace that is going to make this a very short trip. In fact, in a normal airship, the speed at which you're going in a normal airship, it would probably take a day or 2 to get to Pillar. But as you watch the clouds move underneath you and past you, you start to realize that you're probably going to get there before dawn. It is a hell of a ride, especially up here because of how quickly you're moving. Garrick does walk over at one point, Eisendrock, and hands you a token. And I'm going to go ahead and put this into your character sheet on Foundry. You can go ahead and add it yourself on D&D Beyond. But he hands you a Featherfall token.
Yeah, nice.
These are kind of standard. We all have one. If you need another one because you use that one, just let me know and I can get you another one. And here's your sign-on bonus. And he hands you a pouch with gold in it. And when you open it, it has 200 gold in it.
Nice.
This is to make sure you're outfitted with everything you need. We don't know that everyone is wealthy when they sign on, so we like our people properly equipped. So if you need potions or equipment of any kind, there will be places to purchase them in Pillar before you get to where you're going. The captain said you're going to the Drafty Villa. There are some shops in between there and the Skyport.
Miss Captain Garo.
Yes, Liv, I think. And she leans over her desk, and you see that there are multiple folders with parchment in them. And she opens one of them. She's, yeah, you like to go by Liv. What can I help you with?
I appreciate your hospitality. And Liv bows.
Oh, that's not necessary.
And then she'll try to find whatever quarters she were, as if like she walks out.
Talk to Garrick. Just go down 1 square. Talk to Garrick.
Thank you, ma'am.
And as you go outside, you see Garrick. He hands a token to you, which is just like it's on a necklace. Same for you, Eisendrock. It was on a necklace. This is a Featherfall token, and here's your sign-on bonus. And it's the 200 gold and the Featherfall token. If you go down the steps just beneath me, and he leans over the wheel and points to the stairwell. Crew quarters are down there. Find a room, make yourself comfortable. Sorry, we don't have 5 quarters. Go up 1 square. There you go. Yeah. And as you see, this is probably Garrick's cabin here. And then if you go north and around the corner, there's another set of stairs.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, since nobody else is with Liv, I'm not going to explain what she's doing.
Yep. So, so yeah, the rest of you are in the cabin, and the captain just kind of looks at Ward and Haley. He's like, you should all talk to Garrick. He has something for you, and then go down to the crew quarters and get some rest. We're going to get there just before dawn.
And I will join and message you to tell you what she actually is doing as she is looking for quarters.
Go 1 to the left, Rick. I need to make those doors locked, actually. Yeah. Send me a note of what you're doing. Does anyone have any questions, or do you guys want to just explore the ship?
Is Jordan asking or is Garrick asking?
Garrick hands you Featherfall tokens and 200 gold each, and this is Jordan asking you.
Well, thanks, Garrick. I appreciate it. When is there a dinner or a nightcap or food or anything like that?
Oh, you didn't eat it at the tavern.
Oh, I ate.
Yeah,
but
there's food.
I ate, but well, I am a bit hungry. Blind makes me ravenously hungry.
Yes. If you get down to the crew section, you'll find some tables down there next to your crew quarters, and there's food on the table there. Please, help yourself.
Will do, thank you. Goodbye.
Yep. And he just goes back to steering the ship.
How am I doing that?
You're stepping on. There's a ladder there that you're stepping onto.
There's a ladder that I'm stepping on. Okay, I'm
Got it.
just trying to see what's happening in that area.
Yeah. So these are the crew quarters. Those are the tables there.
Okay, I see. That thing in the middle is a ladder. Got it.
And you see there's like a sheen on each of these ballistae.
Don't run into the ladder, Liv.
You'll go upstairs.
Liv would be very interested in those ballista and would start inspecting them.
You're seeing that they're all just enchanted. Yeah. Watch out for the ladder. It grabs you and pulls you up to the top of the ship.
Where is the toilet?
They
That,
are.
that would be the side of the ship.
Yeah, that's either
Not
side
here.
of the ship, or there are buckets in each of the rooms that you can see.
Glad I chose the race I chose. You guys enjoy your buckets.
And then if you make your way all the way to the bottom of the ship, you'll find the cargo hold, and there's actually a big ballista down there that is like the gun on the Millennium Falcon that can be aimed in a bunch of different directions. Oh, how'd you go outside?
Ward has already used his Featherfall token.
Leave it to the Warforged.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, I think that's just that wall doesn't exist right there. I think. Or maybe. Nope, it does exist. I have no idea how I
Yeah,
did it.
I don't know how you got out there either.
I think Hal grabs onto that and swings it around, trying to determine if this is either strength or dex base aiming or to metagame. But does she find it easy to move or easy to aim?
It's got a seat attached to it, so as you sit down, you find that just as you lean in different directions, it changes the way it aims, and you can even point straight down. And I should have mentioned before, that's not a window underneath it. That's just like a metal grate. So you feel like wind come up out of the floor there.
Wow, fancy.
So yeah, this is the Red Ringer. Do you guys have any other questions, or do we want to you guys get your long rest? We can fast forward to arriving in Pillar.
Where's the mess hall?
The mess hall is the same level as the crew quarters. So if you just keep going east, there's a bunch of tables there, and that's where there's a bunch of food. It's not on the map, but it's where the food and everything is.
All right.
So let me know when we're doing the long rest, because I want to say that when that happens, none of you guys see Liv. Like, there's only 4 quarters, right? And she's not anywhere near. She's not in any of your quarters.
Interesting. Stop that.
I think Ellie eats her fill and then just puts her foot up on the table and kind of come and shake dozes off, but stares off into nothing as she starts to trance.
Jordan, are all these little things windows with the ballista? They're portholes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so those are all portholes that you can see through. Those are glass ones. But if you look in front of the ballistas, those are like wooden sliders that slide out of the way so you can shoot out the side of the ship.
Got it. Nope. Porthole is enough for Ward. Ward is just going to stare out the window for the night.
So Hallie's going to sleep in the upper crew dining area next to Garrick's room. Olivia's standing in the in the hallway. Eisendrach, you're welcome to take any of the rooms. They haven't been claimed by anybody yet.
I guess Ward and Livy could share a room, considering that neither of us are actually going to go to sleep from what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so all of you get a long rest. Please make sure and add the 200 gold. And
Jordan, you're good that I'm still that I'm using D&D Beyond, right? I kind of don't use the okay.
Yep. In fact, yeah, when it comes to adding items and stuff, please just do that in D&D Beyond because it's easier for me to just pull it with just by updating your actor. All right, so you sleep throughout the night, and I don't imagine anyone sets a watch or anything, and it ends up being unnecessary as the ship just keeps on traveling. The captain herself ends up resting and then waking up throughout the night and switches places with the first mate. So when you wake up just before dawn, you find that the captain is actually at the helm.
So Liv the entire night literally was sitting next to the helmsman, just standing there.
Mm-hmm. And there was like multiple times where Garrick was like, "So you don't sleep, huh? I mean, I know Warforged don't sleep." And then if you didn't respond, he was just like, "Oh, that makes sense, I guess."
I would say, yeah, she would respond, depending, because they don't do a full 8 hours. So if he asks outside of that time, and she also is all conscious anyways, so yeah, she would respond. Very short answers. That is correct.
So when you're standing there, is it like a Warforged? Are you sentient? Are you aware of what's happening around you, or are you dormant?
Yes. Yes, she is conscious.
So you notice then at some point early in the morning, the captain comes out and has a kind of a hushed discussion with the first mate, and then he goes in after kind of like trying to shoo her away, but she goes, "No, you need to sleep." And he eventually leaves and she takes over.
Oh.
And the rest of you wake up, whether you're in a dining area or in one of the crew quarters or standing next to a porthole. You wake up in the morning and you make your way to the top deck and find the captain at the helm. Put a party token here at the top deck.
Okay. Yeah, better.
I put a party token here at the top deck so that way you're always able to see what's happening up here. All right, well, we are about to arrive. Oh, just a matter of minutes. Do any of you need anything before we arrive?
What are you offering?
No, there's more food down in the we usually do dinner in the crew seating area, but breakfast is in the dining area next to Garrick's room. So if any of you are hungry, you want to get something to eat, there's some rations, but also we like to get some food whenever we're in port. So there might be some Pop-Tarts still.
Allie brushes some crumbs off the side of her mouth. Yeah, perhaps.
Oh, unless
Miss Captain Garo, what do you know about the target? Inquiry. What do you know about the target?
not much. Not much. Kidnapping is something that the houses tend to do to each other when they're trying to extort something. I don't know. It can be very messy business, so I don't like to really get in the middle of it. But they're offering enough money that it makes sense. I would caution all of you, and I don't know if Edward brought this up. He should have. Please be careful. We're not being watched right now, but the houses will have agents nearby. So whatever you do is going to reflect on me and may have repercussions with the houses, whichever ones are employing us. And probably whichever one we're acting against, which is why they're using a third party. They probably used a crew like ours to kidnap this agent in the first place.
Bella's leaning over the bowsprit looking as the city approaches.
Second inquiry. Do we not know which house is involved?
No. They used...
Third inquiry. Then how do we know where the target is?
We know where the target is because we used a bounty hunter to track the whereabouts of different agents and money flows, and this tavern seems to be a popular place to keep someone when they are taken. There's a lot of money going into this tavern, and it doesn't make sense. This is a very popular place. It is very nice, but they're bringing in too much money. It's probably laundering of some kind. Eltar was working throughout the night using their magic to try and figure things out. He said that he has some very interesting abilities, but his main one is that he was able to get some information about today, which is a little strange. But he said that there's one of the employees at the tavern, someone with red hair, would be willing, if given the right amount of money, to provide information. So if you see an employee at the tavern with red hair, that might be the person you want to talk to. I don't remember if Eltar said they were an elf or a human or a man or a woman. I don't know, actually. But red hair. Look out for red hair.
That's good information, thank you.
Do you guys have any more information before you arrive at the skyport?
I think so.
All right, so the ship begins to lower in altitude, and as you come out from the clouds, and at this point too, with the different skills that you have, who's got pretty good Arcana? I imagine that would probably be Eltar, but he's not with you right now. Oh, Liv, you would know with your knowledge of the combination of technology and magic that one of the things that this airship does is there's a bubble field around, so you guys weren't suffering from the lowering of oxygen in the atmosphere is because you were so high up, so you were able to fly above the clouds but not be affected. And as you lower through the clouds, you actually watch as some of the clouds come onto the ship and like fog kind of displaces onto the boards and past you, but thicker clouds, maybe ones that are harboring thick moisture that may, turn into rain or snow or whatever, hit the bubble around the ship and kind of bounce off. So you get a visual indication of the field being created by the ship itself. And as you come out of the clouds, you see that pillar is aptly named because it is a very thin, tall mountain almost. It's strange the way it almost looks like someone took a mountain and then carved a cylinder and then got rid of everything outside of the cylinder. It just kind of comes up, and there's a path up it to get up it, but really what this pillar is it has an encampment on the top that has high walls. You can tell this used to be a fortress, but now is like a hub for airships for merchants and other travelers to come and stop at. And the ship comes down to one of the many air docks and then comes up and abuts up against one of the docks.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's see if anybody has any idea where we find the Drafty Villa Inn. Does anybody have any issues with that? No. Okay. I didn't think so. Excuse me, good man. Where is the Drafty Villa Inn?
Hold on. Do you have any merchandise to remove from the ship? He's like handling the crane right there.
I mean, you'll have to ask the captain. He points up.
Oh well, what do you need? What do you need? I need to go speak to your captain.
I just need directions. The Drafty Villa Inn.
Oh, that's in the center of the city. Just head west out of here, and he just points directly west on the map, and you see there's a gap down here. And he's like, just follow that down the main road. You'll see there's a bunch of shops. There's some touristy places you can get food at if you're hungry. But just keep going. You won't miss it. It's one of the biggest buildings in the city.
Touristy? This guy.
But as you walk down this road, you see that even though, like, once you get towards the center of the city, the roads are quite big, almost as if it's designed for, carriages and horses and stuff. But there's no real way carriages would even get up here. Like, this is a city that is kind of defined by airship travel, and you see many of the shops that the dock worker told you about. Does anyone need to stop at any of them to purchase any items or anything like that with your sign-on bonus?
Do we see carriages? So everybody's just walking around.
Is anybody taking particular notice of our group, or is there anybody keeping an eyeball on us?
You're welcome to give me a perception check if you like. If you're looking around for something.
I would like to.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Oops. There's 13. D&D Beyond says 13.
Liv will do the same. Liv would do the same thing, but for a different reason, which you know about.
Yeah, you don't really notice anything. Maybe it's because of how strange the city is. Like, it is totally divorced from normal foot traffic or horses or anything like that. If you do see a horse, it's someone's like expensive war horse that they probably docked onto a ship and brought with them as like a status symbol. There are not normal people with like carts here. You know what I mean? But you don't really notice much. And what did you say yours was?
It was a 13.
With a 13, you see. I mean, this just seems like a place that is so with foot traffic and merchants and all that sort of thing that you're just another group. People may look at you, maybe heckle you to try and get you to come in and purchase something at their shop, but otherwise, no one seems to be really paying that close attention to you.
Okay. So I'm going to ask a question, because one of my abilities is Psionic Bolstered Axe. And it says, if you fail an ability check using a skill or tool, you have proficiency and you can roll a psionic energy die. So I'm going to ask, is that applicable here or not?
Yeah, if you want to add that to your roll to make your roll better, you can in this instance.
Yeah, I'll add a d6.
All right, roll it.
That's a 3.
Comes a 16. With a 16, you notice something interesting. Not that anyone's like paying close attention to you or even following you or something like that, right? It's more of ever since you got off the ship and made your way through the streets of this city, you've noticed here and there that there are like spotters, and that every once in a while someone will make note of you and either make a sound or a hand gesture or some indication that you've been noticed, and that gets passed somewhere. You're not really sure what that means, but you know that people are taking note of you arriving.
I have another question. I am proficient in Thieves' Cant. Would I determine some of these hand gestures and the such as these camp?
So some of them, yes, but moreover, you are noticing physical signs on the side of buildings in the way merchandise is being displayed. Even there are symbols and patterns and information as simple as paint graffiti or where a shop is or how someone's standing, but definitely in the motions, you notice a couple people like speaking to each other, but the way their hands are moving, you're seeing patterns of like how many people are in your party, the weapons you have on you, stuff like that being relayed. But you don't know where that's going to or who's gaining that information. But the fact that you're all adventurers and seem to be moving together, that information is being passed along somewhere.
Okay.
But it's everywhere. Like you immediately realize, oh, this is a merchant like city thing now, right? This fort became a merchant hub. So of course there's gonna be like an underground network here.
Very cool. All right, thank you.
You're
And
very
he will
welcome.
continue following the directions of
Yeah.
the gentleman who was manning the cranes.
Yeah. So he just told you to keep going. You know what I mean? It's kind of a straight shot. And from the air, you saw this place is pretty much a big square. It's kind of just nestled on top of this rock formation. I am gonna repeat the question from earlier though. Does anyone want to stop at a shop?
Not I.
Not in particular.
Okay, you see shops with weapons being sold, adventuring equipment being sold. You see magic potion sellers. There's all kinds of stuff that's available, and from the prices being yelled out, it's pretty standard rates. And you have to imagine that because so much inventory passes through this place, like the prices are pretty cheap. No one's marking up anything. All right. Well, I have preloaded, so we're just gonna move you guys along. You come up a street and you see just a massive square building to the north of this park here that's to your west. And as you look up the side of the street, you see that there's a door to the inside of it, and there are several signs on the side of this building that say the Drafty Villa, and there's a door right there.
Well, friends, looks like we've found the villa. Nobody is interested in buying like potions of healing or anything like that with the docks. I mean, am I working with a bunch of rookies here, or
For some reason, I already have healing potions. I don't know why.
you're an adventurer? I mean, you probably did that in your last adventure. I would imagine. I don't know.
So everybody got one potion at least for free.
We are supposed to be quiet. If we need healing, we did something wrong.
Yeah, I don't know why you have 4. You should have at least 1 for free.
Just a regular healing potion.
It was so long ago that we created these. I have no recollection.
But we had a set of money, so I mean, like, I don't know.
Okay,
If you
so
just
that means
give people stuff.
that means I need to add one then.
Yep. So yeah, if you during character creation you spent some gold to get some potions, then yeah, your inventory is probably correct because it was a while back when we did this. But if you guys feel good to go, yep, the door is right there.
Well, I'm hungry, so guess live. Well, let's just kind of go in and see if somebody has red hair. Maybe.
That sounds like a plan. If we can figure out the doors.
God dang it, we're already stuck.
It's a pull door, not a push door.
Good evening, gentlemen and ladies. He like looks at Liv, ladies,
Mm-hmm.
and Warforged. Oh, hi. Welcome. This is the Drafty Villa. Are you here to eat or to stay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both. Okay. Then
Yes.
head up the hallway here to the north and go through the far door. The closed door is here if you're just to eat. It's just the dining area. The far door is if you'd like to eat and stay and enjoy your time here as you walk away.
Yes, this is the second time today you've seen Hallie walk away from the group as the man on the dock started to mansplain something. She, okay, I hear you, and walked off. And then after she said, you want to stay or eat, you can go to that door. And she moves off like, okay, got it. Guys like to talk so much, my God.
Is she in a hurry? What is?
That's some beautiful music. Wouldn't you agree, Liv? I thought
I
so.
don't hear anything. Wait, it is.
So as you walk in, you see that there's people already eating. There's people playing games of chance. You see a stairwell going down, a door to the north there, and then a large bar here to the south with someone who looks like they're a little important here, and they have brown hair.
Liv will scan the room for any redheads.
At the moment, you don't see anyone who looks like they work here with red hair. So this guy's got brown hair. You see, there's another guy at this door here to the south, and he's got blonde hair. And he goes, good evening. Well, no, morning. Good morning. Man, I've been working all night. My name's Daniel Fresher. What can I help you with? You need a drink? You need a place to stay? Gonna be in town long?
Inquiry. Does anybody here have red hair?
Inquiry. That's a new one. Anyone here? We have a lot of guests, a lot of people eating. You mean anyone just here, or one of my employees?
Yes, employees, not patron.
Yeah, Celise. Celise has pretty, actually shockingly red hair. We've asked her if it's fake, and she is adamant that it is real, but we don't really believe her. It's too red. Why do you... What? Are you a Warforged?
Liv cocks her head and simply says, "Gnomish."
You're Gnomish? You know, I don't normally say this to people because I think it's rude, but are you sure you're Gnomish?
Affirmative.
Right. Breakfast? Drinks?
Breakfast in a room would be amazing. Do we get like a bulk discount? Do we have to stay in the same room? Or how much does the room cost?
Hold on, let me check my book here. Well, looks like there are 4 of you. We have 2 rooms right across the hall from each other. One has 3 beds, the other one 2 beds. 5 gold each. Usually it's 5 gold a bed. You know what, let's make it 4 gold each, because, as you said, bulk discount.
How many? Until you say 5 gold each for each room, or 4 gold each for each room, or 3 gold each for each room, I mean?
Well, we don't have any single occupant rooms, unless you want one of the master suites at the top of the building. So it's just 4 gold from each of you, and 4 gold gets you a bed. But it does, before you balk at the cost, it does provide you all your meals. So breakfast and dinner. Well, supper. They call it supper here at the Pillar for some reason. Breakfast and supper are part of your stay here at the Drafty Villa.
And what about lunch?
We don't serve lunch. Supper's like at
London?
two past high noon.
Brunch?
No. There's breakfast and there's supper.
I'm relieved that we're not halflings.
Oh, I would love some breakfast. And how long have you worked here?
My father helped build this place back when it was a fort. This used to be the main barracks for the fort. This was kind of the command building and barracks, and kind of rolled everything into one. And then when the war was over, my father and 2 of his partners came together and turned it into what you see today. He's retired now.
How many rooms? And is anybody staying in the master suite?
Oh.
Or is it suites many?
Okay, so there are 2 master suites on the 3rd floor. One of them is currently occupied, and then for the 2nd floor, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 14 rooms, 15 rooms. 15 rooms on the 2nd floor. All of them have multiple bunks.
So is it 14 or 15?
It is 15 on the 2nd floor with a 16th and 17th master suites that take up the 2
on
suites.
On the 3rd floor?
Yeah, the 2 suites take up the entire 3rd floor.
And what is the open, or is there a view? What view does the suite that is not occupied, what kind of view is that? Is it facing south or towards the docks, or?
It's facing the opposite way of the docks. It's to the west, and north would be your view from the windows, and it's a beautiful view. I mean, up here on the Pillar, you can see so far, and we are the 2nd tallest building in the city, so you can see a fair amount. But
You said the rooms together, if we all bought together, it's like 3 gold per person?
For regular rooms, if you want the master suite, there is only 1 bed in there.
I do not require a bed. How much is the room?
The master suite, it's 50 gold, and there's I want to reiterate, it's 1 bed and there's room for 2 people in it. Like it's not. He's looking at like all 5 of you. Like it's not for a group.
Oh, so you mean like it's a honeymoon suite, right?
And he's just kind of confused.
Okay, well, I don't need to sleep either, Liv. So maybe we just all get one room and face the corners. Is that 3 gold per night for all of us?
Okay. All right. So you only need 3 beds, but you want 1 room because I assume even if you don't sleep, you're gonna. I don't know what you're gonna do actually. Why is this so confusing? Is this? He looks at like Ward. Is this normally this difficult?
2 beds, and yes.
Okay. All right. Hold on. So not 3 beds, 2 beds. Okay. Let me check the roster. All right. This is a nice room. And I mean, I still. All right. So who's actually sleeping? He's like looking at all of you.
I sleep.
All right. You sleep.
Liv will raise her hand.
The note. Okay. All right. This is very. What? All right. It's 3 gold, 5 silver from each of you, and that's food and the room with. I'm gonna give you the one with 3 beds is nicer, and it's frankly a deal at 3 gold, 5 silver. This is.
Is there a discount if you don't eat?
The tall gentleman here will certainly have breakfast in there. He will take the portions,
He points at Ward. He's gonna eat.
but he's gonna take his meal. Or its meal.
You said your name's Haley?
Yes.
He's a Warforged. He doesn't eat. I know Warforged.
Yeah, but he's gonna have. The room comes with a meal. 2 meals, but not lunch.
Okay, 3 gold, 5 silver from each of you. Can we just do that, please? So I can
Mhm.
take a smoke break, because now I need it.
3 gold, 5 silver.
Alright, just go ahead and minus that from your inventory, please. I'm gonna trust everybody to handle that. And he gives you a single room key.
I assume he gives change.
And as he takes your gold and he gives you a key, he lets you know that you can either go into the dining room or you can order something from the bar if you want a particular food. Otherwise, they have like a continental breakfast on the east side of the tavern that is just a kind of a buffet it is set up at morning and then set up in the afternoon for supper as well. And they've got different food every day. So just to check in if you want to know what's going to be on the menu for the next day. And then he points towards the stairwell to the south and says, that's the way up to the 2nd floor where your room is. Your room is actually the first door on your right immediately as you go up the stairs. If you want to just relax, there's a common room downstairs, and he points to the northwest of the map, and you'll see the stairs going down. And he says, downstairs, there's a couple fireplaces. There's usually someone performing music, or it's usually quiet. So if you want a quiet place to just reflect or put your feet up, that's what the basement is for. And then unless you need something, the privies. There are toilets on every floor, and he points towards the north, and it's that small door here. There's bathrooms on this floor and on the 2nd floor, and there's really no need to go up to the 3rd floor. But if you were to go up there, that's where the master suites are. Do you have any other questions?
And
I think-
where would we speak to Celeste?
She's working right now. Do you know? I mean, you didn't ask for her by name. You just said the color of her hair. So like,
No, you said her name.
right. So that tells me you don't actually know her. So
We require a redhead.
okay, I might need that key back.
Consensual.
I think Hallie, once they said there's food down to the east, she just left. Like, if you need some breakfast, it's over there, and she missed all the explanation of where everything was, and she's in there having her breakfast. Ward's breakfast.
Does someone who's still here want to roll some type of persuasion to convince this guy you're not a fucking creep?
No.
I mean, not really, but I can. It'll be kind of funny. See, persuasion.
Yeah, persuasion. Because right now he's getting like bad
Hey,
feelings from this. Okay, so there's just something about your manner where
what
he's
would I
just
do?
like, yeah, what do you do to roll 16? What do you say to convince him you're not a bunch of fucking creeps?
There's nothing to say. I think it's just from my demeanor, he figures out that there's really probably functionally nothing I could do that would be as disturbing as what he thinks.
I mean, he's not thinking disturbing. He just thinks you guys are being weird.
Well, we are being weird.
And then he's gonna look at you, and then he's gonna look at the tiny gnomish warforged, is what he thinks. He's like, why did someone make a warforged that looks like this? I've never seen one, but here we go. And he looks to the people and he just watches as Haley like walks away to go get food. And he's like, she's one of my employees that handles the master suites. So we have people who work here, and he motions behind him. There's the kitchens here. There are the kitchens downstairs because we have a lot of guests, so we need to make a lot of food. And then we also have personal concierge who work on the third floor. And they basically, if someone in the master suites wants food or alcohol or wants a minstrel brought up to play music or something like that, because it's usually, I don't know, heads of state or house agents or somebody who comes through and stays in one of the master suites. They don't want to come down here where other people are. So we have someone who's just up there to take care of whatever they need and bring them whatever they want. So she's working up there right now.
Thank you. And Livia will bow and, Mr. Fisher, I appreciate your hospitality. And then she will put a gold down as she goes where it checks on Haley.
He picks up the coin and then just kind of to himself and goes, "It's fresher." And he just turns around, ignoring everyone else, and goes into the kitchen and says, "Sam, watch the bar. I need a fucking smoke break." And you guys are able to move around. You guys can check out the basement if you want to check out the basement. You can go up to the second floor and check out your room if you want, or you can head to the east and go to the buffet. And you see there's just a bunch of people already, and everyone's just eating. And there's like, it's not on the map, but basically the whole left wall here next to this door is just full of buffet tables. And there's eggs, there's ham, there's just bread, there's just a bunch of stuff, and you guys are welcome to eat your fill. Every once in a while you see this door open and you'll just get a view into the kitchen, and there's just people working, and it's a really nice kitchen in there, and you realize it's a nice place. Yes, please.
So during this entire time, I'm assuming the captain did not disembark with us.
The captain and the first mate are staying on the ship, and so is Eltar at the moment. And Eltar seems to be... You got the idea because Eltar was not there when you guys went to bed, and he was sleeping when you guys woke up. So whatever he was doing with the captain, he was up all night, probably, working his magic. And that's not a euphemism.
Sure, it's not.
We'll go straight to the third floor.
All right.
Oh, wait. She wants to be inconspicuous. So what she will do before she goes to the third floor is that she will go grab a plate at the buffet and put some eggs on it and stuff, as if she were going to eat it.
She's like, "I'm a people."
and yeah, she wants to blend in, and then casually just go up the third floor.
I would like a deception roll, please. I want to see how well you pull this off. Okay. You notice, you don't realize it, but everyone else in the party, you're like, oh, Liv didn't get like any silverware and nothing to drink. So you're just walking around with a plate of eggs on it, not eating it, like you're just holding it almost like a waiter, and everyone's just watching you. Like, as a group, then you would make your way back around to the other side where the bar is, and then up the stairs. And I put you guys on the map here so you know where your room is. Yep, that's your room, and you guys are able to walk around the second floor. You see there are just tons of doors up here, and you see another door to the north. That's probably the privy. Feel free to walk around.
How do we get back down to the bar?
Oh, you'd like to be back down at the bar?
Yeah.
So that's on another map. But if you want to go up to the third floor, you would head south where you are, Haley. So you go east and then south, and that would take you up to the third floor. So canonically then, Haley's still downstairs eating.
Yeah, Haley's eating, and then she's gonna go to the bar and say, "Excuse me, where's the restroom?" Pretty, because she didn't hear us by where it was.
Okay, then I'm gonna pull Rick downstairs, and you are directed to this door. You go inside, and there's a bunch of stalls, and there's someone in there who goes, "Hey! Oh, hey!"
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. It was small sword.
And that's when you realize it's a unisex bathroom. But everyone else is going to the third floor? Or what would everyone like to do? Is it just Liv going upstairs?
Yes, we would like to go on all different floors.
Yeah, Liv would have done it like on her own.
I mean, that's fine. I can pull you guys individually to different floors.
Yeah, Ward is going into the basement, where he shall
Oh, okay.
pretend to smoke and drink and make merry.
All right, let me pull you down to the basement. Hold on. This is a first. I don't think we've all been on so many different maps before in a game.
Roll for initiative. It'll be great.
I mean, it's totally not a problem that you're all hundreds of feet away from each other. There you go. You get downstairs, and there's just a bunch of people. They're drinking, they're eating. There's like a guy who's just reading by the fire. It's just kind of a chill atmosphere down here. And there's nobody playing any music right now, but it's just comfortable down here. You see a couple empty tables.
Yeah, or it's just being awkward, standing in the corner.
Oh, you're gonna go. Okay, I'm just gonna put you down here in the bottom right corner then.
That works.
Kind of like near this table, so people don't know if you're like waiting for somebody or something.
That's a perfect cover.
And then back on the first floor, what's Haley doing?
Asking this bartender, the one we saw, once he gets back, like all the questions that he explained to the group, he doesn't come back. Okay.
No, Riswin comes out. She's like, Sam's busy. What do you want?
Just maybe some wine, just to relax. Normally this busy. Or is that just the dining room?
It's always this busy. A lot of people come through this city. And she goes into the kitchen, comes back, puts some wine on the table. This alcohol is separate.
Oh,
Glass of wine is 2 silver.
Oh, then that's fine. Is this a male or female?
This is a woman. She does not seem very personable though. You can tell she is not used to being customer relations.
Even better. So Sam said, my friend, what's her name? Celise, working upstairs. Did she get off?
She works until second shift comes in, just after sunset. Why?
Oh, and I'm here to walk her home. Yeah, we're friends. Like, Ellie from Sharn. I'm sure she's talked about me before.
Ollie, no. Why don't you wait right there? I'm gonna go ask Daniel. She goes into the kitchen. You want to roll a deception check since you are lying to her?
Let's go with a deception check. Roll Diddy beyond it. I didn't roll last time, so here we go.
Okay, that's good enough. She's like, I don't really I guess I don't talk to her that much. All right. Yeah, no, she gets off just after the sun sets. Can I get you anything else? I've got to get back in the kitchen.
I mean, who's gonna help this good man over here to the left? And she'll look towards this important looking person. Was that the important looking person?
That's Simon, and Simon is asleep. And you look at Simon, and Simon's head is resting against the wood of the bar. There's a big pitcher of beer that is half drink, and he's just been drinking straight out of the pitcher. Simon, that's what Simon does. Simon sleeps. I'm gonna go back into the kitchen now. You know where your room is?
No, one with a group of people. Probably the beautiful blue dragonborn we call Blue, the young, or the short, and then the Warforged.
She looks you up and down and goes, well, you're not in the master suite, so you're on the second floor.
Wait, hang on. How do I get there?
She points directly to the south.
Thank you. Do I? Bitch.
Do you want to roll something so she doesn't hear that?
She says it into her, under her telepathic breath.
She looks around. Can't really tell who said that. And then just goes back into the kitchen. Y'all are being weird.
We're being how we usually are. You're just looking at it from a different perspective.
Would you like me to pull you up to the second floor, Rick?
No. I think Allie's just gonna sit here and get all the different people and kind of spot each person and see what's different about them. Because she's not really tired and ready to go to sleep or hang out. And in fact, she probably won't go back to the room. She'll probably just chill here in the corner and put her feet up and do her trancing.
Okay. Liv, as you get to the third floor, we're going to cut to you. And the first thing you notice is this is very much unlike the second floor. The wood is much nicer quality on the floors. There's artwork and tapestry on the walls. There's even some suits of armor to the west there. There's a huge banquet table that seems to be like maybe where some of the employees eat when they're not on the clock. And you see there's a divider and a desk with what seems to be like an employee who's a guard sitting behind a desk. And there's one on the west side and the east side when you come up the stairs. And then there seems to be maybe another random employee sitting here on a bench smoking a cigarette. What would you like to do?
Liv will scan each employee, make sure if any of them has any red hair.
You do not see anybody with red hair. Hello, Warforged? Warforged, can I help you?
I think I have made a wrong turn. I was told to go to the second floor.
Yeah, no, this is well, it's kind of hard to miss. You were on the second floor for quite a while, and then you had to come up another set of stairs. Are you looking for someone?
Does anybody here have red hair? Or she was an
Who's
inquiry.
who's asking? Yeah, who's you?
Is Livia. She bows, she curtsies. You may call me Liv, for short.
All right, Liv. Well, I guess I should. I'm Elric. Why? Why are you looking for someone up here? Your room's downstairs.
Very well then. I apologize for the intrusion. He'll turn around and walk back downstairs while taking a note of the surroundings and.
Yep. So I'll give you some more information. There's a big double door here, and then you notice that the only other doors are behind the guys with the desks, right? So they seem to be some type of security to even get in these rooms.
There's doors, but okay, I see. Right here, you're talking about
No. So that's a big window. So it's right here.
oops. Oh, gotcha. And then one over there. So I could probably ascertain that because there's only 2 rooms up here. The double doors probably lead to where the 2 rooms are. That's what I would assume.
Yeah. It's a good guess. But yeah, you watch as a woman comes out, and she just starts talking to the guy sitting at the bench there, and she has red hair.
And then before Liv turns around after she talks to the apologizes to the guy. As she sees this, she just takes a note of how she looks like, et cetera, et cetera.
You can tell there's kind of a uniform happening here, where all the male employees are kind of dressed similar. They're all wearing like nice black clothes, and the women are wearing like nice black dresses to really mark themselves out as employees. And the only thing that really marks her out from any of the other women employees is her bright red hair. And you can tell you're not
Is it dyed or does it look natural?
it looks dyed. Like there's no way that's real. But she claims it's natural.
What color are her eyes?
Are her eyes? Oh, give me a perception check. Let's see if you saw it as she came out of the door and turned, because she turned away from you. So let's see if you saw it as she turned. Oh yeah, with a 21. Yeah, her eyes are green.
And a human, I presume.
Yes, she's a human.
That's all I will do. And then I'm going back downstairs and look for the rest of the party. Still with a plate of eggs in my hand.
That was one of the reasons why Elric was so weirded out. You're just walking around with food. All right, pulling you to the second floor. Man, I've never played a game where everyone's on different floors before, but here we are. Are you even on this floor? Yeah, you are. There you are, back in the room. All right, so it's coming up to midday. All of you have gotten kind of settled in your rooms. You've now located the employee who might be willing to give you information. Is there anything you guys would like to do? Because remember, it is the morning, so you guys don't really need to rest or long rest or anything. What would you like to do with your day? So as Haley sits at the bar, Daniel Fresher comes back in and starts playing the piano.
Mhm.
He completely ignores you. He doesn't want to talk to anybody in your party anymore, and he's playing the piano. And everyone else except for Ward is back in the room. So is there a place where you guys would choose to meet up?
We can meet up back in the room.
Yeah, if somebody asked me to come up, I would have gone up.
Oh, Haley, do you want to see the basement where the people are hanging out? All right. Well, no one's gonna go get Ward then.
Liv probably would have gotten Ward.
Okay. So someone goes and gets Ward.
What's the plan? I understand Celise gets off in sundown. I'm a friend from Sean, and that's what I told. What's not Dan's replacement for his break. So I could just tell her in her head, hey, remember me? Don't say anything. It's Holly from Sean. Great to see you. I'm gonna come hug you. Got some money for you for information. And then her and I can maybe go out and back and have a cigarette or whatever.
I did see her working upstairs.
Oh, so she's here.
Liv will describe, the upstairs layout. We can all, as she works at the room up above, we can always change our rooms, or at least one of us can.
I mean, why not all of us? If we're gonna splurge, it's $50, right? Not for $50 gold dollars, but $50. Oh my gosh! Is that per person, or is it for the room?
Well, the room will fit only 2 people. So $50 for the 50.
I think
50 gold for
I
the
think it
room.
will sleep 2 people.
Okay.
And maybe that would be an easier way to speak to her.
I just need to see her, and that's it. And I can just talk in her head, like earlier, Liv, right, or yesterday. You just no, that was when he points to that was you, Blue, talked in your head. I can do that with her. Nobody else can hear it. Right? Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we just stay in the room.
If I'm in the room with you, I could listen in on her thoughts while you're doing that.
Well, that's a great idea.
Then you just say something like, whatever you do, don't think about where that guy is being stashed.
We have the cash. They gave it to us to, like, pay for intel. So, like, maybe we go back down and complain, and we can say, hey, the room's not very good. The privy's overflowing on the second floor.
Mhm.
Like, can we get an upgrade?
Quick question for the group: has anyone looked in the pouch that you're supposed to use to get the kidnapped agent back?
Oh, I thought the pouch had the gold in
No.
it. That's why.
I thought that was the 200 gold.
Yeah.
That was your guys's. So you got a pouch from Edward Partsmith, and then when you got on the ship, Garrick handed you each 200 gold as like a as like a little sign-on bonus. Did anyone look in the pouch from Edward?
No, I guess we do now.
Yeah, somebody says, by the way, what's in that pouch Edward gave us?
You guys find 100 platinum.
Well, that might loosen some lips.
Oh, we should definitely stay in the suite. Like, if she's working up there, we can just go down. We need an upgrade.
So we each have 100 platinum.
Oh, he gave each of us
No.
a pouch?
No. Edward Partsmith gave you one pouch with which to get the agent back. Whether it's if you want to pay the ransom, right, or if you want to bribe somebody or whatever. It's basically money with which to use to however you see fit to get back the target. And if you get to the end of it and you have money left over, that is going to play a role in how you're judged. Or if you use the money to get the agent, that's fine too, right? So that is just discretionary money with which to use on the job.
And then all we know about the lady in red, the redhead, is the fact that she has information
And she's willing to give
and
it
she's willing. Okay, that was the thing. Yeah.
for
Okay.
a price. And also Edward kind of made note as well, like, hey, if you just want to like fight your way in and retrieve the target and get them unharmed, and you don't use the money, that's up to you. So it's all kind of up to you guys how you want to handle the situation. But at the moment, you're right. You don't really know what's going on up there. So talking to Solis would be a good idea.
I've never really been to a place that's really hotty-toddy expensive. I mean, we've got the extra money here. Like, maybe we splurge a little bit and we get information faster. Perhaps they're like making a transfer of the prisoner tonight and we can cut it off at the pass, or hourly rate goes up, if you know what I mean. Well, I'll just do whatever you guys want to do.
So do you want to upgrade the room or?
Yes, I do. Anybody else feel any different? What about you?
So yeah, see, every time you say big man, we both look at you and go, me?
Ward, what color are you as a Warforged? Like, are you just like chrome metallic, or
Yeah,
Or do you look-
nah, I'm real, like, just basic, like, messed
He's-
up
he-
looking,
he's
iron.
scratched up
Dirty
iron.
wood rust.
Yeah,
He's just a basic bitch, yeah.
just,
Yeah, so you look like a cast
iron.
iron skillet, basically.
Yeah.
I look exactly like a cast iron skillet.
So, and then you got a blue big guy and an iron big guy.
How will let Dwarves live and be like, when it Lord, big guy, blue, and shrug. Be like, sigh really loud, but annoyingly. Okay, so you guys, what do you think about an upgrade?
You can have an extra room.
I believe.
And-
I
And
believe that
and
could
we're,
be possible.
we're complaining to get the upgrade.
Sure.
I agree. Maybe Eisendrock could maybe accompany you.
Works for me. Let's go, Blue. Let's go raise some hell. After all, it might just cost us 50 gold. So let's go fund the shit out of Dan. And Hallie grabs Blue's hand if he lets her, and we will
Sure.
march downstairs. Hello. Can I speak with the manager? Dan, is that you?
Happy to help. All right. So you guys are going down to the first floor.
Yep. We're going down to speak with Dan.
So I guess I wasn't paying attention when we walked in, but everybody down here is armed too.
Yeah, there are people just with weapons either out or on their hips, but it seems like their clientele is a mix of just like normal merchants, but also maybe mercenaries, guards, and then, maybe pirates. It seems to be a neutral. This whole city seems to be there's an understanding of this is neutral ground. As long as no one messes with no one else, everyone's cool, and we can all just enjoy ourselves. And that seems to be the atmosphere here in the tavern. All right, so you go to the bar.
Yes.
You still see Daniel Fresher. He's playing on the piano there.
Ward, would you like to accompany them, but stay further back? So we'll go with Hallie and Eisendrak, but we're not going to be with them. We'll like sit down at a table or something like that.
There you go. I got you on the map.
Excuse me, Dan. And the
Oh.
man. Piano man Dan.
Oh, right. Hi.
Hi.
How can I
That
help
room's
you?
completely unacceptable. It smells. It's too small. The people next door are offensive. I demand an upgrade.
Well, what would you like to roll with this interaction?
Well,
Is
I'm
it-
lying.
Yeah, so I feel like deception makes sense. Hallie, are you helping at all, or are either of you
Yes.
proficient?
I'm not. Yes, I am proficient in deception.
All right,
Yes,
so
it's awful. Like literal awful on the floor of the privy absurd.
what? Privy?
My
What is
delicate sensibilities are offended.
You're about as far away from the bathroom.
As this is happening, Liv will
Mhm.
walk up to Hallie, Eisendrak, and say, "Excuse me, you forgot this in the room." And then she'll hand you like a coin, and as she touches you, you feel a little bit more confident as Liv casts guidance.
Okay, so are you hiding this? Because guidance has somatic, right?
Oh, it does. Let me see here. Let me look.
I think that's all three, yeah.
Yeah, it's verbal.
Yeah, it's
somatic,
verbal
and
and
real.
somatic.
So if you want to do this without, because so we didn't talk about Eberron as like a setting, but it's an important thing to remember that Eberron, like magic is everywhere. You could go in anybody's kitchen and they probably have a magically infused oven, and they never use firewood. You know what I mean? Like magic just exists everywhere in the world. It is wide. Everyone knows about magic. Everyone uses magic in some way in their day-to-day life, but it's not deep. You know what I mean? The idea of someone being like level 20 and being able to cast high-level spells is almost unheard of. Like they are a rarity.
Well, prior to her walking over, she'll take out her alchemy flask, start mixing up a concoction, and she'll walk up to Isengard and go, "Oh, Isengard, Eisendrak, you forgot your medicine. Don't forget to take it."
Interesting. Whew.
Yeah, see, I'm so upset. I forgot to drink my medicine.
So let's have. Yeah, it is verbal and somatic. So I will let you roll sleight of hand, Liv, but with advantage, right? Because you're kind of hiding it in this action and pouring things in it, but magic is still happening. So let's see
Yep,
if you can.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What sleight of hand you said?
Yes. Yep. Because you're trying to hide what you're doing with the actions. Ooh, nice.
Hmm.
Good rolls. Yeah. Oh yeah. Daniel's like focusing on Haley at that point, doesn't even realize that you're doing anything, and then looks over, and at that point you've already kind of infused the magic into your hand. So as you hand it to Eisendrak, you've passed the magic into him, which would give Eisendrak the D4, and then Haley with your addition, that will give Eisendrak advantage plus the guidance on top of that. 2 deception. Oh wow, it's hard to argue with that. So just roll the D4. Let's see if you can see how high you can get. 23. So Daniel, listening to this, at first just has a face of like, "There's no way. Our rooms are clean. This is a nice establishment." And then it's just like, well, I mean, it's definitely possible. We're extremely sorry for that. We can have someone clean the room. There are a couple rooms that are empty on the second floor. We could just have you moved. It would only take, just a matter of minutes. And we're extremely sorry that this happened.
How tall is Daniel?
Daniel is a human. He sits at about, I'd say, 5'11". He's not super tall.
Then the 6'5" dragonborn will loom over him menacingly. Like, are you suggesting we're just going to another room on that floor?
Well, we can comp your alcohol if you're trying to intimidate him. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
We don't want alcohol, Daniel. We want the sweet. A sweet?
You want a suite? Oh, you're talking about the master suites?
Yes, the master suite.
One of them is taken, and the other one we reserve those exclusively for high-end clientele.
Like us.
Well, it's usually heads of state and their partners. I don't know how much. There's 5 of you.
Daniel, you and I are gonna be down here, just chilling at the bar all night long. If you're lucky.
I mean, that's fine. I can go home.
Maybe.
So you've convinced him at this point that he can comp you alcohol. He can change you to a different set of rooms that after they've been checked to make sure they're clean. But they don't normally offer, like, the idea of coming in and renting the master suite. Normal people just don't do that. So you're going to need to provide him something to prove that you're of high enough standing to take a room like that. Because if someone comes into town who is, rich or important, they're going to need that. That's the reason why that room's empty. They're keeping it open because the other one's taken. I just...
Well, okay, I'll take a shot at this. I'll reach into my bag and I pull out a small vial of oil and I dab a little bit on each finger and put it between, back by my ears like perfume. It's like I'm trying to calm myself. But while I'm doing that, I will spend a sorcery point to use subtle spell and cast suggestion on him.
Oh, shoot.
And I'll say, I really think you should comp us the room.
Wow. Okay, go ahead and link that into the VTT. There we go. All right, so you are concentrating. We definitely don't need... Yep, you got subtle spell on there, so you don't have to do any of the somatic or verbal components. Beautiful.
Yeah, and the material component is the oil.
Drop the sweet oil. Yep, perfect. Basically, you handle this exactly the way you needed to, so that way he wouldn't notice you doing it right in front of him. He's human, so he's not going to have advantage on the charm. All right, wisdom saving throw. Okay, what is your DC?
A lofty 13.
Gotta start somewhere.
Oh,
Ah,
son of a bitch. Wah, wah.
First roll of the night is a 14. Well, for me anyway. Failed save.
Oh, do I get the sense that this is not working?
So interesting. Does he? I'm reading the text here. I don't think he knows that you did it, right? Because of the subtle spell.
No, he doesn't. But my question is, can I see that the spell doesn't seem to be taking effect?
Yeah. He
Then I'll
he
use
just-
my reaction and I'll cast silvery barbs.
Oh, which would make him have to re-roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then take the lowest, yeah.
Another sorcery point gone.
Look at that.
Even better.
Are those visible? Can you guys see them?
Yeah, I can see him. It should be a fail, right?
Yeah. So he went from passing by one to failing by one. All right. Well, all right. Here's what I can do. I'm not going to comp your alcohol, and you're going to have to pay the difference. As long as it's only for one night.
We're only in town for a day, so that should be fine.
I have to reiterate. There is one large bed in there, and there are 5.
Yes.
So-
Yes. We speak common. Yes, we understand.
Okay. It's just usually we don't like that sort of thing here. We don't.
And what sort of thing are you implying?
I don't know. There are 5 of you.
Mm.
You want one bed. Am I not supposed to look? Whatever. Please.
The middle people don't sleep, right?
That doesn't mean they don't do other things. And he's like trying to do the math now of how much you paid before. So
You mean like
three
the
gold,
people next to us make me loud from noise in our other room? All morning long?
30. Our walls are very thick here. This used to be a military settlement. That is categorically untrue, miss.
Well, that's even more disgusting when you say it. You know what goes on in military barracks?
Do you want the room or not? Because I've already said yes, and now you're just kind of digging at me. 39 gold and 5 silver would be the cost difference between what you paid for your room and the master suite.
There you go. And Allie will lay out 40 gold. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just drops them out one at a time.
And he's just watching them pile up. And he slides over 5 silver, and he hands you a new key. And this one's bigger and nicer. It's a much nicer key. May I have the key to the room? The one you're vacating?
Yes.
Who's got the key? Yes.
And Dan, the man here, the key.
Ward, roll me an insight check.
Insight from Ward.
Mhm.
Hey,
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
why did that happen? Okay.
You realize someone gave you the key at some point, and you just had it. And with a 22 insight, you realize that when you all left the room, someone gave you the key as you walked out and closed your door behind you because you all did.
Wait, I'm sorry, I don't get it. Say that again?
So all of you went to leave the room and with this plan, and Ward was the last one out, and someone came up to Ward and gave him the key. Another employee.
Right, Ward is smarter than Jason, but Ward realizes he has key and will.
And when you hand this key over, you know it's not the key to your room. It's a different key. That's what the insight was for, to know the difference between the key that you were given for your room and the key you have now. They're two different keys.
Do we as a party have both keys?
That's all you, Ward. We don't know. Only you know that.
Do I have both keys?
You check your pockets, and you
Uh-huh.
have a second key. That is the key you were given.
Yeah, I will hand the original key back.
And Daniel goes, "All right, yeah, no, wait, is that another key?"
No, and Ward walks away.
No, I think the intention. I think the intention was you to give the key that he gave to us earlier.
So now you have a key, but you don't know what it's to.
Correct.
Yep. So you walk away, and because he's still under the effects of the suggestion spell from our Dragonborn here, I'm going to say that he just kind of waves away the other key that he saw that you have. So now, Ward, you don't really remember who gave it to you, but it was quick. And earlier when we started this, I rolled a sleight of hand silently, as because an employee came up while you guys were leaving, rolled really good stealth, rolled really good sleight of hand, and basically, like, if you had a pocket, they put it in your pocket without you
Put the
noticing.
key inside of Ward. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
You had an extra key, you just didn't realize it until now. And I was like, all right, whoever has the key when you go to give the key back is going to have an extra key, and see if they figured out where it came from. Okay, so you have an extra key now. You've been given the key to the master suite. Daniel's kind of annoyed, but you've given him a bunch of gold. So what would you like to do?
Well, let's go upstairs to our room.
The extra key now we have. Does it match a regular room key? Does it look like the regular room key, or does it look like a?
So you've seen 3 keys basically now, and the regular room key is kind of a nondescript key, and it has a number on it. It had the room number that you were staying in, which was 2. The master key is a bigger key and has an M on it, and it's for one of the 2 master rooms. On the other side, it says an M on one side and 1 on the other, because there's 2 rooms up there, so it'd either be a 1 or a 2. You've got the one with a 1 on it. And then the key that he was given, that you are now looking at as you walk away from the bar, this one has an S on it, and it does not look like a normal room key. So are you guys making your way up to the 3rd floor? Let me preload. We'll just skip the 2nd floor. You guys don't need to walk through all that. I do have a really important question to ask. Are you still holding a plate of eggs?
I guarantee Hallie was picking at the eggs.
You know what? Because I forgot about it, I will say Liv forgot about it. Yes,
Okay, so-
she's still holding a plate of eggs.
So as you make your way up to the 2nd floor, you look down and it's empty. And that's because what is it, Hallie or Haley?
Haley.
Haley has just been eating them the whole time as you guys have been walking. Like you were talking to Daniel, the innkeeper, and Haley's just like picking at the eggs, just eating them little by little. And by the time you get to the 3rd floor, they're gone. And now you're just holding an empty plate.
An empty plate with like a
Little
dirty
pieces
empty
of egg.
plate.
Yeah. There's some pepper on there. Like there used to be food. So you get up there, and Elric goes, "Can I help you?"
I would assume Haley would be in the front.
Yeah, we're looking for your sword, Meldabone.
My what?
Oh, sorry. Something I heard when I was young. It's kind of a bit of a high fantasy story. And he points toward, we are in the other suite.
Oh, can
Not
I?
the one there. The
Hold
other
on,
one
can
there.
May I see the key? Then you show him the key.
Went to Ward.
Ward is the key master. Okay, Ward will walk up and flash the key.
All right, this is a key. Let me see the back. Oh, okay. Yeah, 1. Yeah, you're across the way. Go talk to David across the way and he'll let you in.
Thank you, Prince Eric. Namba.
Oh, good afternoon. Why are there so many of you?
Morning, good morning.
No, he looks out the window. Oh, I guess it's not yet noon. May I help you? May I help all of you? I mean, Daniel doesn't usually let this sort of thing happen in the inn. I mean,
Can I retcon something real quick because of the number of because I was thinking of five the entire time. What I probably would have suggested earlier is that obviously we're automatons compared to you two, so we are your guards.
that's fun. So you guys are like flanking. I am not gonna let you put away the plate though. So you are an automaton gnomish guard holding an empty plate.
Yes.
Is everyone else cool with that idea, that story of how you guys are set up here?
That works for me.
Ward feels like guard.
All right. So then David watches the two of you walk up, flanked by two Warforged, maybe, and one of them is holding an empty plate up to a ravenous Haley, who seems to can't stop eating, and goes, "Oh, you know what? We're not supposed to ask questions here. Love is love. May I see your key?"
Ward shows him the key.
Oh, nice. And he pulls back the little room divider there to the south and brings you around and opens the door. So you're able to just go ahead and move your token across the desk. And you go up and you see a very nice room that is clearly designed to either host large gatherings or is just very, very fancy. And he says there's a sitting reading room to the north there, but otherwise this is the whole room. Several wardrobes to the south here. There are gowns and suits if you need to attend an event while you're in the city. We can have a tailor come in and change your clothing to suit you as needed. There is of course a bath here. If you need anything, let Solis know and she can have one of the other employees bring up hot water for you. There's seating areas. There is an upstairs kitchen here, located through there.
Wait. Zelise? About this doll?
She's the attendant. Yes, she's the attendant.
Long red
Yes,
hair. Kind of looks natural.
Yes, that's Solis.
Oh my god. I went to uni with Zelise
You went to what?
in Jarn University.
Oh, yeah, no.
That what they call it here?
Solis went to the University of Sharn?
Well, I'm not sure if she finished, but we were in freshman year together. In fact, we were roommates. Where is Zelise? I need to see if this is the same person.
I mean, there's a bell on the table. You just ring the bell and Solis, she handles the kitchen and everything else up here on this floor. I'm pretty sure she's not from Sharn. I'm pretty sure.
Zelise, this tall, red hair.
So you can keep talking to him, in which case you need to roll a deception check. Or you can go over and ring the bell that's on the table, which will summon Solis into the room.
Probably will keep talking, but turn around from the guy mansplaining her, ring the bell. Since that is the end.
What's the attendant's name again?
This guy or
yeah, this guy.
This is David.
David will walk up and go, we appreciate your hospitality, David. You may leave.
Hello. Bing 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 bing.
He walks up, he squints at you and is like trying to do the mental math in his head of like, is this a Warforged? What is happening here? And then he looks at Haley and he looks at you, and there's a moment where you can see him like, do I care enough to keep asking questions? Does this actually matter to me? And then he puts his hand out to you.
Oh, then she'll drop a gold piece.
And he'll snap his feet together, like almost giving you an idea of like, oh, maybe this guy was in the military, because this is like a pretty official bow he's giving. And he bows and he says, please let me know if you need anything else, or if you have any parties that are coming, or if you need me to turn people away before they gain access to you. I will be just outside should you need anything. And he goes back to his desk and closes the door behind him. And you now know that by staying in this suite, you have like a little bit of extra security.
All right. So when my roommate or former roommate Celise comes, I'm just talk into her head and say, hey, understand, like, we're friends from university at Sharn. You might have been a exchange student from another place, and we'll have a conversation.
You're doing this when she comes into the room?
I'm telling that to the group in probably a hush tone. Okay, we're gonna, we let her know everything's okay. And yeah, hush conversation in the corner over there by the table, and everything's gonna be great. Okay? Okay.
Interjection. Technically, Ward and I don't need to know anything, as we are your guards.
Well, it says something, Blue. My boy, Blue.
Say what?
Nothing. Okay. I'm sure she should be here any minute.
I
Hello?
don't think you. I don't think you told the DM that you rang it.
Yeah, did you ring the bell?
Yeah, as David was like mansplaining me stuff, she just walks over and rings the bell when she says you can ring the bell. So she rings the bell.
After a few minutes, you see the door to the east side of the room up here open, and then you hear someone go, "Fuck!" And you look, and someone has pushed like a chest or something in front of the door, and you watch as a woman that you saw earlier, about like 5'7", just unceremoniously like climb over this like waist-high chest, and just like brush herself off and go, "Oh, I hate so sorry." When no one's used this room for a while, they like to move the furniture around. I will get someone to move the chest. What can I get you, fine lady and lord? Are these your
So
Warforged?
Haley is gonna use her psychotic psionic whispers that allows her to look at somebody up to her proficiency bonus and communicate with him telepathically up to 1 mile for the duration of her proficiency bonus. So I can pick up 2 people for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so Hallie's gonna say, "Don't be alarmed. We paid for the room. I told him you were my friend from uni at Shard. We understand that you have some information about a prisoner, and we're here to pay you some nice gold and she'll flash some platinum. And you can either just talk to me in my head and I can whisper it to my companions here, or we can just sit over there in the corner and have a conversation about what you might know."
So as you continue this, she starts nodding, because remember, like, magic's not a weird thing, right? So someone speaking to her head is not the wildest thing to happen. So she goes back and she locks the servant's door, and then motions as she walks back to the table here that someone should lock the south door.
I think at the same time when Hall is starting to speak, she'll reach over to Blue and kind of tap him on the arm like, "Hey, I'm talking to this person right now." Oh, she'll pick both Hallie and Blue because she can do up to 2 people, and he'll hear the same conversation.
Liv will raise one finger, as in like one moment, and then we'll open the door and we'll say to David, we would like not to be disturbed for the next hour.
Oh no, that's fine. Daniel didn't tell you. All right, so the rooms are enchanted. So if you lock both this door and the servant's door, then the room is magically sealed and no sound can come in and out of the room.
Are you sure they're not used to parties like us?
They're used to the heads of state here talking about like political and military matters, right? So like these were the rooms that the commanders of the base stayed in. So all of the old defenses and stuff, like if after you talk to David and he lets you know, when you close this door and lock it, you feel like an arcane lock go off in the room, and when you look at the windows, you see that there's like a sheen that you can see because of the sunlight. That sound can't get through the windows. If you were to open it, like you wouldn't be able to get out. Nothing is able to get in. Like the room becomes like like a fortress, basically.
So that happens, and then as a one precaution, and you see, please wait, as you see her take out her crossbow, but she like kind of flips a few switches on it, and it stops looking like a crossbow. It kind of now starts looking like a Geiger counter, and this takes time. It takes probably about 10 minutes as you guys watch her do this, and then she kind of sweeps the room as she is casting detect magic. If that would incline that it would be a what kind of magic? If it's protection, what kind of magic is that?
Abjuration?
No, not conjuration.
Abjuration.
Abjuration. So the purpose of this to see if there's anything besides abjuration, particularly divination.
It's also set up, but that's like What is teleportation magic? What is that? It's like, I forget which school of
Is
magic.
it transmutation?
Yeah, something like that. But basically, you find out that the chamber pot is magical, and so that way any refuse you put in it is put somewhere else. And you go around, and then you go to one of the cabinets, and it is also magically infused. But this is probably Abjuration 2, but it's a cold box. It's basically a fridge. And you just go around the whole room, and there are several things that are magically infused. Like, this room is decked out, but none of it is divination.
I think we are safe.
What do you want to know, and how much do you want to give me?
I mean, where is this person being held? Where's the prisoner being held? What kind of defenses are there? How much is that gonna cost me in gold or whatever? Because your hair looks beautiful.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I have to say, I have a lot of information, and how much you give me will determine how much of that information you get. And I don't really know any of you, so I don't know. I mean, you've somehow finagled your way into the Master Suite, so you must have pretty deep pockets.
Nope. Somebody was shitting outside our door or next to our door or whatever. Blue ear has a very sensitive mouth, as you can see how large it might be. It was just, we were able to have a conversation with Daniel, and he provided us this room. We paid the difference, so on and so forth. Anyways, he said no free booze, which is completely fine because I don't drink. Here we are, and here we are.
Please roll me a deception check.
That is a natural 20.
Natural 20. She goes, that is quite a story, and some of the enchantments on the second floor must have not been working, because if there's a mess like that, we would be alerted. So I guess all odds came together, so that way, crapped in the hallway. I'll have to talk to James about that. I'm sure he loved cleaning it up.
You're so funny.
Why don't basically anyone, if you want to give like an insight check to see, like, to get a read on Celise, like maybe you can figure out with a good insight check like how much she's expecting here, maybe, you know what I mean, because this is clearly an illicit transaction, so maybe you can get a read on Celise and figure out how much she's looking for here. So anybody can do that, because you're all standing in the room with her.
I won't do an insight check.
Two of us
But-
aren't hearing this conversation.
I'm going to pull out a copper piece and start fiddling with it, and I will use my last sorcery point to use Subtle Spell to cast Detect Thoughts on her.
Oh, nice. So I do want to clarify, I'm fairly certain you're all in the room. I don't think Liv and Ward are outside of the room.
Oh, did you guys start speaking out loud? Haley?
Yeah, once she sat down, was like, okay. It was kind of the conversation between, hey, we understand you got XYZ, and
So you switched out of like telepathic conversation.
until we sat down and started speaking in hushed tones together.
Okay. Yep. Because that's when you knew that it was safe to speak out loud. Okay. So yeah, you can all hear this. And yes. Is there a save? Man, that's a whole lot of text. Yes.
Not for the surface thoughts. If I want to
you
probe deep,
If you probe deeper. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So what you initially hear is she is sizing you up. She's looking at your gear. She's like, okay, clothes, they look like they're from this place. Oh, that's silk, or you know what I mean, or that's velvet. Those are nice weapons. You know what I mean? She's basically looking at each of you and trying to come up with a number, and using that in tandem with you guys getting access to this room, which either means someone really did shit in the hallway, or you're someone important, because Daniel's not going to let anybody up here. Like, even though you got a natural 20, she knows that there's more to the story, but she's taking you at your word. But you're in this room. Nobody gets in this room except important people. So she's trying to figure out how much. And this stays open for how long?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. So that's what you get initially.
Yeah, if I'm not getting shit out of her, I'm going to probe.
All right, so now you're going to probe. So I was going to say, as you leave this open for a minute, like as Haley and her talk, I would just let you get more information as the conversation changed, right? But right now, she was talking about money, and that's why she's trying to do more, but you're going to dig deeper now.
I mean, I'll let it run a little bit, but I'm cognizant of the fact that I can only do this for a minute.
For a minute, exactly. So let's maybe do 2 interactions and then probe deeper, so that way you can see what else comes up to the top there. Did no one roll insight?
I didn't roll insight.
I think everyone should just do a free insight, because this is your contact, right? This is the person you're meeting with. Let's see if you guys can gain any information.
That is another natural 20.
Holy crap. Haley's on fire tonight. So you look at Celise. So the whole time,
We are roommates from university.
and she smiles at you. She's like, "Sure we were. Sure we were." Where'd we go to university?
Someplace in Sharn.
Someplace in Sharn. Interesting. Why don't you give me a number? And at that moment, that's when your insight kicks in, and you look at her, and you see that she's wearing a uniform, just like anybody else who works here. But you also notice she's got very nice earrings, and she's got what looks like a gold necklace that goes underneath her uniform. But you can see the edge of it on her neck. And then you look at her shoes, and you see that her shoes, while good for working in, are also very nice. Like, it is, you're realizing that this is a woman who, while she works here, maybe the pay is good enough, but maybe the stuff she's wearing is so nice that maybe this isn't a new thing for her, and she's probably expecting a decent amount of money, and lowballing her would probably insult her.
I think Haley would lean close to her, just like, this sounds creepy, but like breathe in the perfume, like to smell it, that it's really nice, and look to her and say, I prefer night blooming jasmine, and I don't want to offend you, a small figure, so perhaps we start at what you at least accept for preliminary information. And I would like to quickly lay out a few stacks of gold. Give me 5 stacks of 5 each, and do the little poker where you stack 2 things and you put them together, and you stack them and you put them together, and you switch them to 4 and you put them together.
So because we have 2 things happening at the same time, you're insight checking her, you're reading her, right? We're gonna roll over that natural 20. You're watching her eyes and her face as you're stacking up more and more gold. And then while this is happening, Eisendrak is looking and detecting her thoughts at the same time, right? So we've actually got 2 ways to get information from her right now. So how much? So you do 5 gold, and then you do another 5 gold.
Another 5, and then put it into a stack of 10, and then I put 5 and then 5 again next to each other, and then did the whole poker chip stack. So
as you get to 25 gold, Eisendrak, you hear at 25 gold, she's like, they're halfway there.
and Eisendrak, you can communicate with me telepathically without having her here.
Because you still have that.
I can do it anyway because I do have telepathy. As
Oh,
well.
there you go.
Wow.
Nice.
Another call.
She's like, yeah. In her mind, she's like, well, they're going in the right direction. Only halfway there.
Okay. And he he continues to pile gold and kind of looks deep in her eye as he piles the gold. Kind of glances to Blue.
Yeah, and as you approach 50, you get to 50, and she just gets a big grin on her face, and she watches you to see if you add any more. But at this point, you know that you hit the sweet spot for her. All right. Now we can do business. What would you like to know? And at that point, Eisendrak, you get like a series of thoughts. You get the phrase 3 months, and then you get the phrase the 3 of them never leave, and then you get the phrase they've been here too long. Like, you just get multiple quick thoughts that come up, and because they're so disconnected from everything, right? Because this is her internal monologue, right? So she's referring to specific things, but not saying the whole thing in her mind, because you're just surface level, so you don't really know what they're connected to. And she's looking at Haley now, like, ask me questions.
Where are they?
And she looks from Haley to you and just points at the wall to the east.
To the east, like room next door.
And she just nods. They're in the other master suite. And you get three of them. You get that, Isaac. She doesn't say it.
How many?
I know how many. I'll just telepathically tell her that. I know how many.
Is there? I think there's that conversation like a three-way conversation going back and forth between Blue and Haley and her, and then Haley and her back and forth. It was like, how many? Do we lock the door? Can you lock the door? Knowing how it works, etc., etc.
Okay, so then I can just like give you the information that comes up, and then I'll tell you what she says, and then I'll tell you what she thinks. All right, so I'll tell you the information she says, and then the extra information before the minute runs out. So she lets you know over the minute that 3 people have been in that room, and contrary to what you've been told by Edward Spartsmith, where this kidnapping took place 3 weeks ago, those 3 people have been in that room for 3 months. So that is counter to the information you were given. And Eisendrach, she's not lying. You can just tell because what she says is matching her internal monologue. You find out that those 3 people have been like paying up front for months, and before them, every month it was a different group of people. That there'd always be three people, and they would stay in that room, and they'd stay there for a month, and then they'd leave, and then another 3 people would show up, and they always look like people with money, or maybe adventurers who are very well off, or something like that. It's people that look imposing or scary or well off, and she lets you know that they never want to be disturbed. They never really ask for much. That her job for the past, year, because she's worked on this floor for that long, she lets you know that she's been working here for that long. It's an easy job because they hardly ever want anything, and the only time she really has to work is when someone else stays in this suite. Then she actually has to do her job. And I'll just let you know, Eisendrach, like she's telling the truth the whole time, and says that but in her mind, she says it's weird that they're still here because it's not the same pattern anymore, right? For 9 months, it's been 3 people in for a month and then they leave, and then 3 other people in for a month and then they leave. And as you get deeper into this conversation, your concentration ends unless you want to delve deeper before it ends, so you can get some extra information. But it's becoming clear to the entire party that the information you were given was either wrong or a fabrication or something. But
And the information that we were told, only one person was kidnapped, right?
yes. So, and there are 3 people staying in the suite, and they've been here way longer than 3 weeks. So, yeah, at this point, that's what you get. Randy, do you want to delve deeper before the
Sure.
concentration ends?
It's got super broke. Why not?
Yep. See if you can get something extra. Wisdom save.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, wisdom save.
I'm reroused.
And you, well, I didn't mention it at the top of the session, but everyone has an inspiration. So if you want to use that, because we're getting towards the end of the session anyway, right? So do you want to make her re-roll it?
Sure, go for it. Why not?
Yeah, everyone gets a free inspiration. I mean, except for Jason. Jason doesn't get one.
God.
All right.
Man, can I invoke my inspiration for a roll?
That's funny. Why not? That's funny. And for the record here, for the audience as well, Jason doesn't get one because he'd never use it.
It would make him sad to have one.
True. She
I
get 2.
collect them. I just don't use them. I like to give them back to the DM.
So, no, I said I wanted to pee onto the upper bunk of the bunk bed. I'd like to re-roll. So with a 10, she fails. And you get an idea of something that she's keeping back, and that is the fact that every single time there is a group of 3 people in this room, they're friendly towards each other. This is not an adversarial relationship. This isn't like, see, I imagine, right? If you had snuck up here and like looked through a peephole or something, right, into this room and seen 3 people, you might have thought to yourself, oh, that is the kidnappee, and then those are the 2 people guarding them, right? You see 3 people, that's what you might guess is happening here. She, in her head, is like, they're always friendly. It's very clear they are a group, and she wasn't going to tell you guys that. So it's clear to the whole group that the information you've been given for this job, this kidnapping, you were either given the wrong tavern or something. But what is happening here is not what it seems. So she's just sitting there after that, She says, "Well, you don't get comped alcohol, but I can bring you food or whatever. Do you want me to have some beds brought in? Because there's only the one bed."
I think Blue's the only one that needs to sleep. We need to have dignitaries here on the regular. Do the rooms connect back there? And she points to the chest in front of the door.
Right. No, that is the servants' corridor, and there's a kitchen and a nice chest and other things in there. Yes, the two rooms do connect. Ooh, but if you're gonna want to go through there, I'm gonna need a little bit extra because no one's supposed to be in there. In fact, if you give me, what do we think here? Give me 50, maybe another 50%, another 25, and not only can I make sure that you can get through those doors, I'll make sure no one's in that corridor tonight or this afternoon. I'll make sure no one comes in.
Well, I just need somebody to open the doors and I can get through there, no problem. But, like, maybe if I'm in town, you and I can, like, on the day off, go out and, like, you can show me around.
Sweetheart, you're lovely, but I'm not interested. I'm interested in coin.
So Val, Liv will walk over from behind her, and then drop 25 gold onto the next to the stack.
All right. Well,
That sounds agreeable.
thank you. I appreciate that. Are you a Warforged?
She cocks her head and says, "Gnomish."
No, Bish. Okay. Well, unless you need something else, it's a pleasure doing business with you, really. And you watch as she opens her apron, and there's like a little like bag tucked under her apron, and she just takes all the coin and sweeps it off of the table into a bag, and it makes no noise as it falls into the bag. And you'll remember, and I forgot to bring this up. I do apologize, Adam. Her hip was glowing when you did detect magic, and Liv immediately puts it together that that's a bag of holding. So this woman has very expensive taste if she's got a bag of holding on her hip. Exactly. That's exactly. It looks exactly like that. And she says, just ring the bell, with the door unlocked, of course, because otherwise I won't hear it. And I will make sure to vacate the corridor, and I'll take Jeremy. No, not Jeremy. Who's on guard today? Reese. Reese is sitting.
Lightly ajar.
Okay, I will leave this one open because it does lock from the servant side too. It's a double lock. But I have to tell you, if they have both of their doors locked, you're not going to be able to get in there unless you have some impressive magic.
That's why you just leave the door open.
Well, you gave me. Okay, so what I can do is I can go deliver them a bottle for free. It's say it's a gift from Daniel.
From us.
You want them to know that there are people here?
I mean, they're gonna hear it later.
I suppose. I just figured you wouldn't want them to know that you're here, but that's fine. I'll let them know that the other people in the master suite, whatever, are sending over some booze, and then when I come back in, I'll just leave the door slightly open so they can't lock it, I guess.
And the Blue Baron would like, as a gesture, to kindly keep it down because we have audience with the king tomorrow, or magister or mayor, whoever, like, who's the most important person here in Pillar.
I'm not gonna say. I'll just tell them that it's compliments of the other people in the master suite. People like their privacy up here. They don't normally even send alcohol, but that's fine. I'll take care of that. I'll give them a nice bottle of wine. You paid for it technically, and then I'll take Reese and we'll go downstairs and I'll just have him take a smoke break with me, and that should give you, what do you need, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes? How much time do you need?
I mean, that would be great.
Do you want that now or maybe tonight?
Tonight.
Tonight. Okay.
Tonight. I want a bath first.
Okay. Well, then I'll see you later when I bring up food for supper. Oh, does anybody have any allergies or dietary restrictions? Our kitchen is amazing.
I prefer, like, I have a bit of a nut allergy.
A nut allergy? She's like writing it down.
Yes.
Ooh, hey, talkative bunch. And she like looks at the gnome because the gnome said that it's a gnome, and then the gnome doesn't say anything about food.
No, the gnome did not say that she's a gnome. She just said, "What kind
Gnomish.
what kind of warforger are you?" Gnomish.
Gnomish. Okay, all right. And then looks at Eisendrach. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You don't want supper later?
Oh, of course I want supper.
Okay, no dietary restrictions.
No.
Okay. Any special requests? Because you're in the master suite. You basically, food-wise, you can order whatever you want, but apparently no alcohol.
Yeah, M&M's, but with all the brown ones taken out.
You know, you're not the first person to say that, weirdly enough.
I prefer stishy fish, something like that.
Fish. Okay, that's doable, but I usually warn people away from it. We are on the top of a very tall rock, and we're not really close to what. I mean, you know what? I'll go see if the market. See if
Eggs.
if
Eggs.
someone eggs. Okay, so if we don't have fish, eggs. All right, sounds
Eggs. Fresh
Um,
fish. Eggs.
Ooh, did you have Displacer Beast steak?
good. I could find out. She looks towards the door. Could you unlock that real quick? Because we're done talking about business, right? So could you unlock the door? Does someone unlock the door to the south?
To the south? Okay, yeah.
Steak. Okay.
So as soon as you unlock it, you feel the magic release, and it feels like pressure releasing, like when you get out of an airplane or something. And she pulls a little device off of her hip and flips it up, and it's like a razor flip phone. And she calls down to the kitchen. She says, "Do we have Displacer Beast?" "We have Displacer Beast." Steaks?
2, sure.
2. All right, 2. All right, sounds good. 4. All right, and she writes it down. All right, no nuts, Displacer Beast. She looks at Liv. "Do you want me to take that plate? Do you need that plate?"
He pulled it out. No, I do not need this plate no longer.
Okay, well, I will
But
take
please bring her some cutlery.
Yeah, I'll bring extra cutlery when I bring up the steaks later. All right, well, it was a pleasure. I'm going to go back out my door. That's where I really... Maybe... Do you mind if I get Reese to come in here and move this chest before I go downstairs?
Ward, can you move that chest?
Word moves the chest.
All right, you move the chest. She doesn't have to climb over. She thanks you, and she goes into the servants area. And you guys are left alone with new information. You don't know if you've been lied to, if you've been misled, because those can be two different things, right? Just withheld information versus given wrong information. But you now know that there are 3 individuals in the room to the east. You know that after supper tonight, at some point, the door will be left open so that way you can gain access to the room, and you have the rest of the day. Since it's the end of the session, do you just want to say that you take a long rest basically with the rest of your day, and then that way you guys at the beginning of next session will be topped off and ready to go?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Does the
sounds
and you mind if we ask some questions about the room real quick?
Oh, please go for it.
There's windows in the room, I presume, and they can be opened.
Yeah. Yep. So if you're looking from the perspective of the party token, which I imagine you are, there's a window to your left immediately, and then another one at the north side of the room on the same wall. That's a painting. That's a window.
That one, and you said there was another one. Oh yeah, okay, right here.
Yep, right there, right there. If you open the door to the north, there's another window out there. Well, there's actually 3 windows. There's one in the center, and then 2 smaller ones on the left and the right. If you go up into that room, there's a chair, paintings on the wall, several books, a bookcase. You know, it's just a nice little reading room with a lot of natural light.
Also,
yeah.
there's the window. Okay, because of these windows.
Yep.
There's
There's
natural
3
light.
windows in there. The one in the center. Yep. And yeah, that's what you're working with.
And they're openable. They're openable to the outside, meaning that like if we want to crawl out or whatever. Okay.
Even if they're open, though, if you were to lock the doors to the room, there would be like a magical field that would block entry and exit, even if the windows are open. So, but if they're not locked, yes, you can get out that way. And you look down and you can see other buildings to the north. You can see looks like a big warehouse. To the west is the street, and you see that you're up on the 3rd floor from here, and everything looks normal when you look out the window.
And the back windows face all the windows face like the street. Is there any windows that are facing an alleyway or anything like
Yes. So to the west, that's street facing, right? Because it this building sits between 2 parallel streets. To the north, you see about, I'd say 15 feet away. Well, let me go to the 1st floor and check, because I actually have the other building there. Actually, I can just bring you down there. It's going to take a second for everyone to load. Maybe not, though, because you've already loaded before. All right, so yes. So down here, I'm just going to put a party token there so you guys can see the alleyway. because you'd be able to look down and see the alleyway. So we'll just throw a party token here. All right. So when you look down, you see the back of the privies because there's no privy up on the 3rd floor. This is just where the reading room is. You see a fence to the left with 2 planters. You see what looks like maybe a vagabond of some kind sitting on a bench, and then it looks like maybe storage is out here in the alleyway, and you see some people working or just kind of doing their own thing. You see a water feature that is a fountain that kind of acts as also a water spigot for people who need it. There is a window up into this warehouse here that you can kind of see into, and it's just a bunch of boxes and random stuff, but there are bars on the inside of the window, so people can't break in. This is a sheet, like kind of like a gate with a sheet up on it, and if you were to go through to the other side, you see there's another like chain link fence with some flowers. So this is the alleyway that when you look down and see, and you remembered when you came through the door here that there's a big window here that would allow you to either get in or out of the tavern.
So that's a big window.
That's a big window, just like the windows are up in the room. Big 10-foot wide.
Got it. How would people get to this alleyway though?
So they would have to jump the fence. Like this is meant to be like storage for the inn itself, and people have just kind of, it looks like it's kind of a forgotten area. There's just some people living back here.
Oh, so these aren't employees?
Nope.
Okay, so these are vagabonds.
These are houseless, unhomed people who, despite the wealth of this merchant hub, don't have anywhere else to go. So they're doing what they can.
Dislocated citizens.
Yep, but they're it's actually like really nice back here. Like you can tell.
Yeah, so when you say storage, you don't mean necessarily storage for the tavern.
I mean, so when you look, I mean, I don't know how much of this you can see from the window upstairs, but if you were standing back here, there's a lot of boxes that look like they've been here a long time, and they have the name Drafty Villa on them. But then on top of that is like bags of stuff, and people have put down chairs, and you know what I mean? They've just kind of made living spaces around this area. And if someone from the tavern were to come back here, they'd probably get mad that people have put a bunch of their stuff here.
It looks like they've been forgotten or something. Okay, cool.
And I definitely, as a DM, didn't try and anticipate someone trying to sneak in or out of the tavern via an alleyway. So yes, any more questions?
And when I look out the window at the 3rd floor, when I look across, is the warehouse that tall as well?
No, it's 2 stories tall. So you're looking over and you can see the roof of the warehouse, and it's a flat roof.
Flat roof, got it.
And it's 10 feet away. What were you asking, Jason?
Yeah, I probably would have given the S key at some point to Haley, because Ward doesn't know what the hell to do with it.
Oh, okay. I forgot you had that key. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that we were going to try to see if she knew anything about it, but you guys seemed like you didn't want to give her any more gold. So.
If no one has a theory about it, and you guys didn't ask Celise about it.
I mean, I assumed it was a serving key, but...
Liv would have, like, in her head, starts thinking words that have S, and then the first thought, the word Liv would have thought was storage.
Okay. That's
storage
a good
room.
theory. That's a good theory. If no one else has another theory, we could do intelligence checks. Just straight intelligence. See if anyone has like a eureka moment of what the S could mean.
Can it be an investigation check?
No, because all you have is the key to go off of. If you had more information, or you were like trying it somewhere, then yeah. Okay. 2 or 3. Yeah.
Let's see here. You see that? You see that?
All right. So did anyone other than the Warforged want to try?
I think if Haley was given a key, she would be like, "What's this? That's another natural." No, I'm just kidding.
Did you? Don't you have an inspiration, Haley, left?
I mean,
or did you use that?
I mean, Ward has it. And so does. No, there's
that
some.
Happened. Okay.
There's some. I mean, there's owl people in D&D now. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't see. They didn't look like people. They look like a pig and a fox. They look colorful. They look like a pig and a fox.
Hey, look. Sometimes people like to cast polymorph for reasons. All right.
Looks like this inn is more accepting than it comes off as.
Liv, do you want to re-roll? Because Jason said he'd give it to you.
Oh, okay, sure. Let's see here. Nope, not saving throw. So I'll just check.
There you go. You're standing there, right, during this whole conversation. And before Celise left, you were watching the conversation, you were listening to Haley and have this conversation, and then there's just a flash of memory as you watched Elise leave, and maybe even when she was climbing over the chest, you saw that she had a key ring on her waist, and she only had one key, and it had an S on it.
Ooh.
It's the service key. It's a key that employees use to get around the inn.
So we know Haley's on the other side of that wall right now, right? It's on the other side of the door. So maybe we could wait to test the key at a later time when we know she's not on the other side, because that means it would open that door. It would open the other side of that door, because you said it's double locked, right?
Yep, it locks up from both sides. But yeah, she's just on the other side right now. You know you can get her attention with a ring in the bell, but you know what that key is because you saw that she had it, and she only had one key.
And not worried or suspicious about me having a service key at
Yeah,
all.
who gave you that key?
Good fortune.
How did you get that key, Ward?
And how do they know to give it to Ward?
In an inn where you are staying in the master suite, and you know for a fact now that the job that was given to you is misleading in some way. The clues you were given are not coming together.
Ward brought this key from home. What do you mean?
Of course, yeah, no, that's just Ward's key. Because his real name is Sword, so that's why it's got an S on it.